The centre has announced a special joint session of the Parliament from September 18th to 22nd. Agenda of session still unclear. Will it be centre's push for Bharat name for India? Will it be One India, One Poll? Or the Uniform Civil Code? Or the Women Quota Bill? Or the OBC Reservation Bill? Or a googly for the opposition? Former Congress President Sonia Gandhi penned a letter to Prime Minister Modi. Ms. Gandhi sought a debate on communalism, JPC probe into Adani issue, border conflict with China and caste census. Team India demanded that government maintain transparency and not keep the country in the dark.
ये पहले तो ये बहुत ही विचित्र बात है कि ये एक स्पेशल सेशन बुलाया जाता है पार्लियामेंट का और सूचना ही नहीं दी जाती कि किस विषय पे बुलाया जा रहा है। इतना सीक्रेसी क्यों मेंटेन करना है? ट्रांसपेरेंसी से चलना होता है डेमोक्रेसी में।
सीधे मानना है कि अभी सरकार से मुझको कोई उम्मीद नहीं है। ये सरकार सरोकारों से दूर चली गई है। इन्होंने इस लोकतंत्र को राजतंत्र में तब्दील करके रख दिया। जहां राजा तेरे सुबह की जय, राजा तेरे शाम की जय। फॉरगेट अपोजिशन पार्टीज, कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर्स को नहीं पता है। ये होती है प्रणालियां, ये है कैबिनेट सिस्टम। क्या बना के रख दिया है साहब?
India today has learnt that the special session will start in the old house and after 1.5 days move to the new parliament on the day of Ganesh Chaturthi. The political duel already on. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi versus Congress MP Jairam Ramesh. Jairam Ramesh claims the government has broken parliamentary protocol and tradition by refusing to share agenda of special session in advance. Prahlad Joshi claims it is Jairam Ramesh misleading and twisting facts on constitutional provisions. Is the government or the opposition? Who is twisting the facts? The special session suspense continues. On To The Point this evening.
Good evening, you're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. So the big question is, who is twisting the facts when it comes down to a special joint session of the Parliament? Has it known to have happened before that the agenda is not clear days before the session takes place? Well, most constitutional experts say that it is protocol, parliamentary protocol, that the agenda is communicated to the opposition parties. But leave alone that, forget about opposition parties, most leaders in the BJP also rather clueless on what is on agenda. But having said that, the sparring, political sparring continues. I want to bring in this evening on our panel tonight, Shehzad Poonawalla, National Spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party, Sanjay Jha, political analyst, also with us. The reason why we have Sanjay on the debate and not a Congress spokesperson is that the Congress till now not willing to send a spokesperson to face off against Shehzad Poonawalla. But we also have a consulting editor, Rajdeep Sardesai. Rajdeep, for someone who's covered many seasons of parliamentary politics, I want to ask you, what do you make of the fact that the agenda till now very unclear on what is going to be up for discussion come the special joint session of Parliament?
I see it as part of the strategy of Prime Minister Modi to keep the opposition guessing. And this is not the first time we've seen that happen. If you recall, August of 2019, soon after the big second victory of Prime Minister Modi in that monsoon session of Parliament, suddenly, almost unknowingly, the government slips in Article 370's effective revocation. No one was informed. It wasn't on the day's agenda as well. Forget about being discussed in an all-party meeting. It wasn't even on the day's agenda. It was brought in at the last moment, and it completely almost changed the way that parliament session went ahead. So I think Mr. Modi has been very clear. Whenever he's tried to bring in something disruptive, something game-changing, it's done at the last moment. Now, I believe it's against the convention of Parliament. I am open to being challenged on this, but I've gone through this again last night because my friend Mr. Poonawalla was questioning me. I went back to it. There has never been a special session, and I use the word special session very carefully, wherein a parliamentary convention demands that you make very clear what the special session has been called for. And well in advance. This is not the same as a regular session where you call an all-party meeting, discuss at the Business Advisory Committee the agenda of that session. So it is clearly against convention to call a special session of parliament without informing anyone of the agenda. However, as I said, I believe it's Mr. Modi's strategy, and he's perfectly entitled, you could say that, to keep the opposition guessing and thereby at the last moment throw in some political googly that he hopes, I think, will set the narrative for 2024. That's my sense.
We're going to come down to that, what possibly the political googly might be. But Shehzad, no, there's no breaking of any rules, but stepping away from parliamentary convention, at least you accept that by not informing the opposition on what the agenda is this time for a special session?
Although the Congress has continued to show its intolerance by not appearing on a debate with me, I hope that since Rajdeep has stepped in and kept some points, he will not interrupt me like he did last evening. First of all, Rajdeep, thank you for acknowledging, and you can keep the finger on the lip, but the narrative should stop. Rajdeep and you both acknowledge that no rule of parliament has been broken, no constitutional provision has been violated. Thank you very much.
Convention has been broken.
Can I, again you interrupted? You saw,
I have to be honest.
I'll tell you, Rajdeep, honestly, even if Congress continues its boycott, since you're there filling in their shoes, they'll be more
likely to. That's an unfair thing.
That's an unfair thing. That's an
I almost did not come on the program because of this low-level jibes. No low-level jibes. I did not
intervene. No. Preeti,
okay, one second. May I just, can we just stay clear of any personal jibes?
I am only saying this. Did Rajdeep open a show with a 3-minute intervention?
Go ahead.
So can he not speak when I make my intervention?
Okay, now can you speak?
He spoke in the first 10 seconds.
All right, can you speak? I also want to make clear. I also want to make clear that it is both the BJP and the Congress that have decided to boycott certain spokespersons of each other's party. It's not just that Shehzad Poonawala is boycotted.
No,
the BJP has also boycotted.
On your 6 p.m. show, you're not updated on your 6 p.m.
I am
show.
updated,
Gaurav Bhatia and Alok Sharma both have appeared against each other, but the Congress continues to boycott me. So you ask them that. Maybe Rajdeep can call them up and
continue.
Anyways, now I hope Rajdeep won't interrupt me for the next 2 minutes. First of all, Rajdeep's allegation last night and today, the sum and substance of it is why this secrecy? By Rajdeep, India Today ran 4 agendas that are coming up in the session that is upcoming. UCC, Women's Reservation, ONOP and renaming of India to Bharat according to your channel. So are you saying that your channel... One second.
There was one more.
Madam, please don't interrupt me. Now he stopped, so you have started. If these 4 agendas, are you telling me India Today, the gold standard of journalism, has been kite flying? Otherwise, you tell me that you have a particular source and there's no secrecy because you know the agenda, or else acknowledge that your channel is doing kite flying.
Am I allowed to answer? You've asked me a question.
Let me complete in
Please go ahead, sir. Yes, 35 seconds. I've got the watch. Yeah, 35 seconds. Go ahead.
Rajdeep says he has acknowledged that no rule or constitutional provisional has been broken because Article 85 ordains that the president can summon a session. There's no distinction between special session and other sessions. And then once the president ordains a session, after that the parliamentary affairs minister announces it. The speaker is the head. Therefore, he at an appropriate time will call for a BAC and an all-party meeting where the agenda will be hammered out, which will happen in this case also. So how is Rajdeep and the Congress ecosystem preempting that the agenda won't be shared? Thirdly, he says convention has been broken. But every time Rajdeep says that, he talks about the 50-year celebration of the independence, or 75 years of the 70 years of the constitution, or 75 years of something else. That is a celebratory function. That being compared...
You've spoken for a minute. Telling me.
I'll be done.
Yeah, make your point.
The celebratory function which is held in the central hall is not called under Article 85. And therefore, Rajdeep, now I ask you a question on behalf of Congress Party which you can answer. Tell me one instance in 1991, for instance, when an Article 85 session was called, a special session to extend emergency provisions in a particular state. Please tell me, when did Congress Party, whose government was in power, share the agenda or discuss the agenda first with the opposition, and on what date did they do it, and what date was the session?
All right.
Very specific question.
One second. Okay. You've spoken for one.
I have checked again. Yeah. In each instance, the operative word, Mr. Poonawala, is special session. This is the word which Mr. Prahlad Joshi, Parliamentary Affairs Minister, has used. Every occasion when the word special session has been used, a week, at least a week before the session, if not longer, it has been communicated what the session is about, why the session has been called. So you cannot now put out misleading facts here to suggest that this has not happened. This is the first time I've checked. This is the first time an announcement of the special session has been made without the agenda being put forward.
I want to bring in Sanjay Jha. One second. I'm sorry. I'm the moderator of this debate. You've spoken. I'm the moderator of this. So I will come back to you. I will come. You don't take 10 seconds. Take your 10 seconds. Take your 10 seconds.
So Rajdeep says that in no instance, including the instances Jairam Ramesh has put out, that it was more than a week. Rajdeep, today is 7th. The session's on 18th. 11 days are left. So week is still more than a week is left. One. And secondly, Rajdeep, I'm asking you once again, do not run away from this question. In 1991, according to Jairam Ramesh's tweet, there was a special session held by the Congress government back then to extend the precedence rule in Haryana.
Yes.
I want you to tell me the specific date on which the agenda was either pre facto discussed or was shared with the opposition of that time. Give me the specific date. Because you are quoting out of Jairam Ramesh's tweets. You said at least a week. A week is left, 11 days are left.
Okay, one second.
So what are you
let's
objecting
number
to? What
one.
are you objecting to?
No. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm objecting to.
Days, today,
Sir,
11 days
let me tell you what I'll tell you what I'm objecting to. Number one, I'm objecting to the fact that you're making direct personal jibes. I'm sorry, it will not be allowed on the show or on the channel or on the channel.
Don't divert talk on the issue.
One second, sir. You cannot come here and run and moderate this debate. You cannot come here and run and moderate this debate.
You said 7 days.
When it is announced.
You just said 7 days.
Sir, if it is 7 days before, if the special session is announced, you give the agenda on that day. Whenever the special session has been called for,
so you are telling
all right, okay, one second. Rajdeep, I want to bring in.
The session was announced 7 days before.
Whenever it has been announced.
So it has been announced. In this case, it has been announced on 31st August.
So that is the date the agenda should have been clear.
Let me.
Sir, you have only spoken non-stop.
Why are you letting me answer him? I'm answering him in the calm manner. Why are you getting so agitated?
Because I need to introduce. Because I'll tell you what. I'm sorry, sir. Do not bulldoze me.
You allow him to speak and you stop me.
This is my debate. I want to come close to Sanjay Jha. I want to bring him into the conversation. Sanjay Jha, the fact is, no, sir, you cannot. You cannot. I'm the mod. I am. You raised your voice. You raised your voice. I am trying to bring in. Sir,
it seems that your agenda is getting. You three are on the same side.
Again, you are making a silly comment.
Again,
you have every right. One second. No, 1 second. 1 second. Shehzad Poonawalla, you're going to come here and sit here and make personal jibes. You're a guest. Let me finish. Let me finish. Sir, you've been speaking ad nauseum. Number one. Number two. You're going to come here and sit. Sir, you're going to come here. Sir, you're going to come here. You're going to come here and insult. You are going to come here.
Arrogant young man.
You are going to come here. Shehzad, you are going to come here and insult us. You are our guest. You are our guest. You're more than welcome. Sit here. Keep interrupting. Having said that, I'm the moderator.
After you take Sanjay's comment,
now let me tell you, that could have happened 5 minutes earlier.
Okay.
Instead of getting into this.
Okay.
I want to bring in Sanjay.
But you have no right to talk to me like this. We all talk to each other in a courteous manner. That's all I would say. This is not the way to talk to people.
You know what's appalling? What's appalling, Shehzad, is what is appalling is you started. 1 second. I'm going to just cut across to Shehzad. I am 1 second. 1 second.
Let the audiences judge it.
You know, if you've come here to create a scene, if you've come here to get your 2 minutes of fame, you can do that. You are our guest.
Place to get fame.
Fine.
Was the last place
then
to get
why
fame.
indulge? Why indulge in this?
She told me that it's come for 2 minutes of fame.
Why indulge in this?
What was her comment? What was her comment? 2 minutes of fame. Just a minute. Do I seek 2 minutes of fame by coming on your show?
Okay, Sanjay,
my party has assigned me.
The fact is, you have the BJP spokesperson who is saying that 7 days earlier is when usually the agenda of the special session will be conveyed. Why is it that the opposition, which is not just the Congress, why is it the opposition that is so jittery? Wait it out, you'll know the agenda soon.
Preeti, I think there are 2 points I wish to make. Number one, the last I heard, we still were technically a democracy. Mr. Modi is the Prime Minister, he's not an emperor, he's not a king. And, you know, in my limited experience of politics and history, the parliament and the people give the power to the Prime Minister. Mr. Modi, by the way, owes his power to people like you and me, the media, civil society, the citizens. We have a right to ask him. Mr. Modi cannot behave like he's the first among equals. He's responsible to you and me. We don't have to be terrified of him. Therefore, the opposition is asking a question because the opposition represents 60% of India. Mr. Modi may be the Prime Minister. We respect him for that. But he cannot treat the opposition's voice as redundant or meaningless because he's the Prime Minister and his party is in power. Mrs. Sonia Gandhi wrote a letter, which is in the public domain, raising some valid questions. I can tell you, Preeti, if you were the Prime Minister, or if I was the Prime Minister, I would have responded to that within minutes. I would have responded to that within minutes. You know,
right.
I'm hearing some outside sound at the moment.
We'll correct it. We're gonna correct it, Sanjay.
Yeah.
But
So-
I want to
so
come
my-
back. Okay, Sanjay, we're going to correct
Yeah,
that.
just one
But
short point.
Shehzad, the fact is, it's not Rajdeep Sardesai, it's not the Congress. Let it not be the opposition. Three constitutional experts in the last 24 hours, and I would reckon you do respect Mr.
Yes,
PDT Achari,
yes.
who've come out and said, A, it's never happened before. B, the sheer fact that it's not a breaking of rule, which we said, which I said right in the beginning, but it definitely violates parliamentary convention. Now, is somebody as senior as a PDT Achari, who's a constitutional expert, also there running an agenda or trying to pin you down on something? I don't think so.
Okay, Preeti, now with all due humility, I heard you
Please.
out, I heard Sanjay out without a word, and I heard Rajdeep out. May I have 45 seconds without interruption?
Sir, right there, my stopwatch goes and I will show you you're on.
All right.
Go ahead.
First of all, neither Mr. PDT Achari, nor you, nor Rajdeep, even when I question you further, not just on the convention, but I further ask you that which particular convention has been broken. Rajdeep just said that at least 7 days before the agenda should be shared. 1991 is the example he gave me, that 7 days before it was.
Please let me just correct you.
I'll come to you.
Please show it.
Rajdeep, I'll come to you.
No,
I'll come
please
to
show
you.
it.
Okay.
Can you
15
sit?
seconds.
Okay, go ahead.
Can
Preeti,
you just
you
sit?
three won't allow me to
Please
complete
go ahead.
and yet you tell me stuff. Again, please start the 45 seconds again. Preeti, Rajdeep,
Start.
may I continue? Just 45 seconds.
Go
Hold
ahead.
it in and then speak after.
Sir,
I'm
go
done.
ahead,
Right?
go ahead.
Start? No, please, you've allowed the clock to run. Please start it again.
I
Thank
have
you.
started it again.
Okay.
Oh
Thank
Lord,
you.
continue, sir. Continue. Make
Now,
your point.
hopefully, Rajdeep won't interrupt. 1991 is when Rajdeep said it was done 7 days before. That is, according to him, the convention. So how is the convention broken? Today we are 11 days away. Maybe after 7 days it will be announced. The parliamentary minister has said that the agenda will be shared at the due appropriate time. You all are acknowledging no constitutional provision has been violated, yet we are fascist and undemocratic, and those who imposed emergency are very well okay. They suspended parliament. They are the champions of free speech. I am asking you a specific question. The 9 issues that Sonia Gandhi has listed, those 9 issues also, who said no for the Charcha on them? Those issues have anyways been discussed in the no conference motion. But I have a question that why is it that when there was a discussion on Manipur, they ran away? And finally, Preeti, with all due respect to you, if I wanted to seek 2 minutes of fame, your show would be the last place for me to come.
Why are you here?
Thank you. Because my party sent me. It's not my choice. I go where my party
Okay,
tells me.
sure.
You are anchoring because your boss tells you to.
Sure,
Thank you.
sure, sir. You're always welcome on my show,
I give it
even
back
though you
as
might
to-
not.
I give it to you
like
as
I said,
good as I get it.
You're
You were discourteous to me. I gave it back in
Sir,
the exact
you're-
same
who's
point.
discourteous?
You do not
Who
speak
is
to anybody like
discourteous?
that.
One
I'm not
second.
here to seek 2 minutes of fame.
Sir, if
By
you're
the
going
way,
to have a
I don't need
meltdown,
your show to
shall I-
seek fame.
shall
Thank
I-
you.
okay,
Let's
you've
take it.
spoken
Let's-
3 minutes.
I must get my
You've
45
spoken-
Is that a low level
You have
chat?
spoken 3
can I also
minutes.
get my 45
One
seconds?
second.
Unlike you, I won't interrupt you.
Number one.
Please go
What
ahead.
did we say? We said very clearly that 7 days is when the last
What
time.
is the date
Are
today?
you allowing me to
What
talk?
is the date today?
Are you allowing?
How many days are left
Are you
today?
allowing me to
11.
talk?
11 days are
Don't
left.
shout
More
me
than
out,
7.
sir. I will outshout you.
Please shout.
And it is my
Please
show.
shout because you can't face the fact.
Like I said,
this is
it
not
is-
gold
it
standard.
is-
This is bogus standard. So please tell
Leave.
me, 11 days are left. How are
Shehzad
you saying the
Poonawala,
7-day convention has been
Shehzad
violated? If that
Poonawala,
is the convention.
A, you're going to sit here,
The
you're going to
convention is
create a
not
scene.
7 days.
You just said it was.
1 minute,
You
sir.
just said it was.
Shehzad Poonawala, can
You
I,
don't-
sir,
you
sir,
don't-
with
I'm
due
not
giving
respect.
30 seconds.
Please
Sir,
go.
you finish and with due
Yeah.
respect,
Please
nobody, you know,
continue.
it's a very small
You
show.
also-
you are welcome to
you-
leave right now.
No, I will not leave.
You're
I will
welcome
do
to
what
leave
my
right
party
now.
has
It's a
assigned
very
me to.
small
My
show.
party has
Don't
assigned
come.
me to do it. I will do it to the full
Sir,
ability.
then stick to decorum.
Okay.
You
It
say-
might be a small, it's my show.
2 minutes
I
of
run this
fame
show.
comment is decorum. Your 2 minutes of fame
Can I
comment was
start
decorum.
quoting
You
what
started
you said
saying it. You
earlier?
don't have the guts to take it back.
Oh,
That's the double
God.
standard. you have.
Rajdeep,
Please
the
go
con-
ahead.
okay,
The
Rajdeep, just go
convention
ahead.
is,
Yeah.
and I want it to be clarified.
Just go
If
ahead.
the special session is announced 7 days earlier, you will the day the special session is announced,
Okay.
you announce the agenda for it.
All right.
If it is 7 days before, you announce it
Okay.
7 days. If it is 15 days before, you announce it 15 days. The word special session does not find its way. The exact nomenclature is not there in the Parliament rule book, so you could claim no rule book is being violated. I am saying the convention has been, whether it's a celebratory special session or a session called for a special reason, whether it is formation of a state or any specific reason, the reason is stated. In this instance, the special session, as you rightly said, was called on August 31st for September 18th. However, till today, and we are now on the 7th of September, we have not been told what the special session is about. This, according to experts, violates convention, where a special session is on the very day that it is announced. You inform the audience, the House,
sir, you
as
cannot
well
have
as
run
the
out of
members.
time.
That's all I want.
I have run out of time.
For that you called me. For that I was called all kinds of names.
You are allowing him, or you are going to allow him to answer?
You've spoken ad nauseum, Shehzad.
Preeti, first of all, calm down with your attitude.
You know, like I
Please
said,
calm down with
sir,
your
you are
attitude.
like I said, sir, मेरा show बहुत छोटा है.
You don't want to answer.
Sir, बहुत छोटा है. आप अगली बार आइए. नहीं
कि आप किसी गेस्ट को बुलाकर बोलते हैं discomfort 2 minutes of
there is somebody there. There is somebody there who's spoken exactly for a minute.
Rajiv spoke for the official Congress also. I don't
and
think
that's
you should be worried too much.
That is exactly what you're all about. That's your soul.
You're still giving me speech, but you're not letting me
Okay, so the fact
For
is,
you to say all these comments,
the BJP spokesperson, as per, nobody called you low level.
You said 2 minutes of fame.
Okay, sir, you're my guest. You're my guest. You are welcome. बहुत छोटा show है. बहुत छोटा show है. You are welcome to not come here.
You didn't allow me to answer, Rajiv.
Sir, you've only been answering.
If you have the courage, why don't you let me answer?
I need to close the show. I am courage.
Okay, let me answer. Now Rajdeep has
I need to get. Okay, I need to take a break.
Let me answer him. Why don't you let me
Thank
answer?
you for our
Is
viewers
your
for
channel
watching
scared
that.
something
Thank
will
you,
get
our
exposed?
viewers, for watching. We are going to go into a quick break. The BJP spokesperson also said that 7 days before the special joint session of the Parliament, the agenda will be communicated. So 7 days before the special session of the Parliament. You said so.
I have not
You said so.
You are not letting
You
me
just said
answer.
so.
You are
The
twisting my
agenda
words.
will be communicated.
Twisting
We
my
will
words
keep.
won't let me speak,
We will hold
despite Rajdeep's
the
speech.
BJP
All right.
spokesperson
I
accountable
have
to
not said
that.
any of these things. You can
Thank you for watching us.
I said that
Up
I
next is Rahul
How did I say 7?